Queen of Disco and the First Lady of Love, but Donna Summer wasn't just an entertainer. She was a mother, a painter, and a believer, too. The five-time Grammy-winning sensation made history by becoming the first black woman to ever have a music video on MTV and one of the first artists to sue her record label, getting ownership of her masters. Her daughter, Brooklyn Sedano, is now revisiting Donna's journey to stardom, bringing her late mother's story to life with the HBO doc Love to Love You, Donna Summer. Our Lindsay Davis sat down with Brooklyn and the co-director, Roger Ross Williams.
Love to Love You, Baby, Last Dance, she works hard for the money, Hot Stuff. I mean, I could just go on and on. Brooklyn, first question to you, what made you decide that your mom, Donna Summer, who's really synonymous with all these hits, that you decided, I want to go and find out who the woman was behind all the hits?
Well, I think the first spark of inspiration was that I became a mother myself, without a mother. And I think it was really processing that new dynamic that I really began to really question and wanted to understand really all the facets of her in a deeper way. And then secondly, it was really, I had so many fans and people in the grocery store, at the airport that would come up to me when they would find out who I was and say, you know, this song meant so much to me. Your mom did this for me. And, you know, it was her music and her life was such a part of their own personal histories.
And we're talking about the first black woman to ever have a music video on MTV, five-time Grammy Award winner. What was it about Donna Summer that inspired you as a filmmaker?
I was a huge Donna Summer fan. You know, I won my high school hustle contest to I Feel Love. So, you know, I wanted to make this from as a fan. I thought about what artists do I want to make a documentary about, what recording artists, and Donna Summer, because she's underappreciated, she's so complex, she has so many hits, she defined my life and she defined so many people from my generation that it was a no-brainer.
A lot of that honest portrayal is about struggle. Really, that up front, your mom even talks about how she struggled with her fame and her image. What was that struggle about? What was at the root of that?
I think the root of it really is that my mom didn't like to be put in a box. She was a box breaker. And I think really when you're an artist, which she really was, and I think that was one of the misconceptions, is that she's just kind of this figurehead for this movement or this persona, but she really was a creative artist, genius person. The fame and the titles that came along with First Lady of Love or the Queen of Disco just felt confining for her.
There's just nothing in my life that's worth more to me than my jewels. My children are my jewels, and my husband and my family. I love to perform, and that's extremely important. But it doesn't bring me what they bring me.
Roger, I'm curious why you all decided to shoot it the way you did. When we hear the different characters being introduced, the different family members, we often only hear them and don't see them. We might see still images, but I imagine this was a deliberate choice.
We really wanted Donna to tell the story. We've discovered audio tapes of Donna from when she was doing her autobiography. We used that audio as the base to really string out these stories. And it was really important that it was deeply personal, that it was Donna and then the immediate family and close friends. There's no experts, there's no musicologists. It's the story that you would never hear from the outside. It's a story that only the family could tell, that only Brooklyn could tell.
What was her childhood like? Because it seems like that might have caused some of the conflict and the struggle growing up in that strong Christian faith, but then also there's this very sensual, sexual aspect.
Well, she did. She grew up in the church, and her family was a very faithful family. She was going to a church that one of her great-grandparents founded. So she was very much rooted, and that was very much the central tenet of the family structure. I think she understood, like, oh, wait, there's something here. And there's power in that. And I think she understood that. So, Boston and her upbringing was very much, Boston is kind of a conservative town, conservative city, a segregated city at the time. There was a lot of things and a lot of dynamics in that regard going on when she was growing up. That spirituality was a part of the foundational aspect of who she was. And I don't think she ever really deviated from her understanding and her faith in God.
When she was in high school, she started working with a band called The Crow. She would sneak out a lot at night and go sing in clubs.
If we go back to her faith and religious aspect for a moment, it's reported that at some point, I think in the 1980s, she had said on stage, even knowing, because many people had contributed a lot of her success to the LGBTQ community, loving her music so much. It's reported that she said on stage, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. AIDS is a result of your sin. What really happened?
She definitely said the Adam and Steve part. She's kind of said it as an off-the-cuff kind of a thing during her stage performance. The AIDS thing was a separate thing that actually got added on to that later on in time. And so I think that's been part of the confusion. There was a misunderstanding about exactly what happened. My father addresses this in the film. They didn't address it head on immediately. And it started to spiral into this whole other thing.
You know, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this film. As a gay man, black gay man, grew up in the church, father's a minister. I understood that sort of push and pull and conflict that Donna went through. I was really offended by those comments. And so I wanted to explore her as an artist, where she came from and the complexities of that. You understand why she would make that comment, and then her deep regret from making that comment. It was something that she never got over and really never recovered from.
She works hard for the money. So hard for it, honey. I work hard for the money, so you better treat me right. All right.
It's not lost on me that as we sit here today, this is the 11-year mark from her passing. If she were still alive, what do you think she'd be doing today?
She'd be singing. She'd be bossing us around. She'd be having fun and playing with her grandkids and doing shows and dressing them up. And, I still think she would be actively creative, which whatever she was, do a furniture line or a hair line or any of those kind of things. I think she would have really continued to move forward with her art and also her family,
One thing she'd be doing, she'd be feeling, is very proud of her daughter. She's raised an incredible woman and proud of the talent that her daughter has become as a director, as an artist, creating her own film. And she'd be proud of the story her daughter told.
The director she always wanted to be.
Yes.
Fulfilling that dream.
Yeah.
I was going to just say, that was going to be my next question. Yeah. Your reaction to Beyonce sampling I Feel Love.
Love it. I love it. I think there's power in that. It brings it to a whole new audience, and it's a great song. And so, fantastic.
Our thanks to Lindsay, and Love to Love You, Donna Summer is available to watch on HBO beginning tomorrow.